מדברים אמזון, הפודקאסט שמקלף את שכבות העולם הסבוך של אמזון, עם עמית רוזנטל ואלי ונטורה, שני יזמים ותיקים ומנוסים בעולם האי-קומרס. בואו נצא לדרך.
ברוכים הבאים לפרק מספר 51 של הפודקאסט מדברים אמזון. אני אלי ונטורה ועמית רוזנטל כאן איתי. הפודקאסט שלנו בחסות רוזנטל לוגיסטיקה מלווה יזמים ועסקים בכל שלבי שרשרת האספקה ומציעה פתרונות שילוח מתקדמים בעולם האי-קומרס ואמזון בפרט. ואני מזכיר לכם שאת הפודקאסט שלנו אפשר לשמוע בספוטיפיי, גוגל פודקאסט, אפל פודקאסט וכמובן בערוץ שלנו ביוטיוב. והיום יש לנו עוד פרק מעבר לים שיועבר באנגלית, אבל לפני זה נשאל את עמית מה קורה, מה המצב.
וואלה, סנדיי סוף סוף, אלי, בוא נתרגש מהמסיבה הזאת.
חזרנו לרגוע, כן.
כן, בקיצור אני סבבה, טוב לראות אותך כרגיל. So today let's swift
and switch.
Yeah, so today we have Aron Lee. Aron Lee is an Amazon seller based in Australia. I have to admit that I know Aron really roughly. Ellie have no Ellie meet Aron like first time 2 minutes ago, so it will be very interesting to hear your journey on Amazon. And Aron, thank you for being with us today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for asking me to come on, and happy to be here. Share my story and get to know you guys.
You're Australia, right? We say that you're from Australia? Right, where in Australia?
We're from Melbourne. So
Melbourne, nice.
Yeah, not the best time of year down here at the moment. The weather's getting pretty chilly and cold, but it's all good.
So Ellie, maybe we'll start today a bit differently. Like, Aron, maybe you can talk a little bit about the Australian Amazon community, like how big the community in Australia compared to, I don't know, to Israel, to US.
Yep.
How is let's say, the collaboration between the people in Australia? Are you sharing information between each other? Because in Israel, we are very, I don't know how to say it.
Strict, discreet.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I guess the community here is pretty big if you're into it. Not many people outside of Amazon sort of know about it, but I've met a few sellers through different sort of networks and communities, and yeah, it's quite interesting. There's a lot of people into it, and yeah, they do a great job sharing information and resources, and yeah, if you're into it, it's quite a close-knit community. And a lot of Aussies are getting some great results out there too, so definitely doing some good things down here.
Most of the Australian sellers are selling on US, right?
Yeah, but I think they target the US primarily.
Why is that? I think we asked that every Australian seller that we interviewed, we asked them this question, and it's really interesting why.
Yep, I think it's just due to the population and demand over there and how mature Amazon is. I think that's if you want to have some sort of nice success, launching, if you can get it right in the US, I feel like you can get it right anywhere. Just, if you can pick a product to stand out and break into a niche in the US, then yeah, you can do it anywhere and you can get some pretty nice results to come along with that.
But in the other end, I can say that every niche in the United States is pretty competitive and very hard to enter. In Australia, it's kind of a blue ocean. You can sell,
Correct.
I don't know, a garlic press and be bestseller.
Yep, and I think that's sort of changing now too. I think a lot of Aussies have realized this because, yeah, it is very early days here. And, yeah, you might be able to get away with launch a few products, have some good success, where if you tried that in the US, yeah, good luck.
Maybe Aron, maybe you can share some information about like the Australian people. Are you buying through Amazon in Australia, generally speaking, specific product only maybe, or you still as a nation going to different direction when you purchase, I don't know, products and so on?
As a buyer,
yeah, so
right?
Online,
yeah, as a buyer.
As a buyer, yeah, sort of Amazon's not there yet. It's still very new here.
Really?
Still very new, and I feel like it's a bit clunky, their website and their products on there. Whereas Aussies still sort of like to buy from like eBay at the moment. Catch, there's a website called Catch, which is just another online marketplace, which I know Aussies for sure are very comfortable with that. So Amazon's sort of a new idea. But yeah, you know, they're coming, and give it 5-6 years, they'll take over, and a lot of Aussies will be a lot more comfortable with it. So
it really sounds
new
like
fulfillment centers.
Sorry.
New fulfillment centers are opening up all the time here in Australia. So yeah, they're well and truly on their way, and it won't be long.
Really sounds like you're in 2013 in USA. When I started e-commerce, it was 2013, and eBay was on top, and I'm making a lot of money in eBay, drop shipping from Amazon to eBay, and then the changes it become.
Yep. Yeah. So Amazon probably only been here for maybe 3 going on 4 years. But now they're really ramping up, and yeah, it's just like early days in the US or any other marketplace. So yeah, it's a great opportunity.
So we can see the future.
To see,
just look what happened in the United States.
Yep. Correct. Yep. To really mark your spot, get a lot of reviews, and get your product trusted on Amazon Australia. Yeah, it would be quite easy at the moment to do that.
It is very interesting, you know, because when there was a rumor Amazon will enter into the Israeli market. So there was such a chaos here that Amazon was going to enter into Israel, and what will be the effect, the side effects, let's say, of such opportunity. But you know, the Australian people seems to me take things very slowly and very, let's say, cautious in regard to what really Amazon, what the value they can bring into the market. And it's very interesting to see the difference in mentality, let's say, between markets around the world, where Amazon trying to enter deeply into the market.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Aussies are, it takes a lot for them to change their mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, Amazon will get there, but yeah, just for right now, like they're just comfortable doing what they've always done. Until they get real comfortable with Amazon and buying from that platform, and we'll eventually get there, but it's going to take a while. Yeah,
that's interesting. Okay,
it's even the way like Australia were very slow in terms of like COVID and that. We were very strict in sort of opening up, and we didn't really follow other countries that were quick to open. And you're really right, Amit, that we're very cautious and like to take things slowly and do it our own way, whether that's good or bad. So
yeah,
got it. Okay, so again, thank you for your time, taking the time to record with us, and let's take you back a journey on time, and tell us what are you doing about an year before you enter the Amazon world. What are you doing? How old are you these days? You're pretty young now.
Yep.
What motivates you to enter Amazon?
So I'm 32 at the moment. Been an electrician since I was 18, left high school, and I still do that now. But yeah, just the same old story. I guess there was something more out there that I wanted to do, and this with making money online, it was always an attraction to me, and just got involved and see what I could get into. Looked at like social media marketing and getting into Shopify, but then I fell across Amazon. And I thought, wow, like what a great business model. If you can get it right, it's really great business model, and can really make a difference. So I started learning about it in late 2018. And I didn't go live until January of this year.
Wow.
So it was a long time coming. Everything happened in between. Life hits you sometimes. There was deaths. I went through a divorce at the same time, but I didn't give up on this dream. And we got there eventually, and just stick with it. And now here we are. We're in the ball game.
So along this long way that you did, let's take the divorce on the side. What stopped you from beginning it in, I don't know, Christmas 1918?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. I guess there could have been times of like laziness and procrastinating and, trying this, getting these samples and just taking my time with it, taking too long. And then it just comes to a point where you're like, all right, this is go time now. We either do this or we don't, and we move on. But there was no chance I was ever going to give up on it. I just went at my own pace, handled other issues like outside of business and things like that, and just took my time. And when I was ready, that's when we pulled the trigger and went for it.
Was there any change in, I don't know, product research that you did like 3-4 years ago to when you launched the first product? And if you can advise what was the real trigger, let's put it this way, that you said, okay, now it's the time to go forward, and how did you do it? Like, did you went to some seminars, courses?
Yep.
Facebook groups, or where did you collect the information in order to start the business eventually?
Yeah, so just joined like an online training for Amazon, a well-known sort of Australian one called Reliable Education.
Yep.
So I signed up to those guys in 2018. They did a seminar. So I attended that, and then, the product that I sell now is the product that, I did my research on 3-4 years ago. So nothing really changed, but it was just, I just took my time. I really slowed to come to the market. So looking back, I thought, damn, like I could have been well and truly off to the races if I just pulled the trigger back then. But yeah, like I said before, like you go through things, and once you sort through those issues, then, through the settlement of divorce, I thought, all right, what do we do here? Do I go ahead and just purchase another property, or I've got this bunch of money, what can I do? So I just thought, nah, I've taken that path before. I'm going to really put it into this online business and give it a real crack. So that was sort of like the go time for me.
So you needed to clear your mind, basically.
Yeah, clear my mind. Had a lot of things going on. And I really just had to get that sorted, get that settled. And then it was time to focus on this 100%. Because I think if your mind's in different places, or, 30% here, 30% here, and 30% over here, and you only got 10% to focus on Amazon, like you're not going to get the result you need. So this requires like 100% concentration, because, to have success, you got to put a bit of money into it. So you got to be careful and do your due diligence, and just know that you're betting on yourself, and you're trying to get it sorted before you go ahead.
You have to be all in in order to make it
I
success.
Think so. Yep.
I think the part of believing yourself is a lot about maturity. Like there is, like for each person, of course, it's a different age and how you feel about yourself and the confidence that you have. But eventually, for any entrepreneur to be able to process all success and fails, you have to be very confident in yourself. And I think it's about a lot about of maturity. And it's in that regard.
Yep. You got to really believe in yourself and just say, all right, like, got to be prepared to like risk it all as well. So I feel that's a big key as well. You really just got to have, the go in you to say, all right, this could not go my way, but you can't stop there. You just got to keep going, and you got to realize there's a potential upside there too. Yeah. So as long as that reward is, potentially greater than the downside, then it's fine to take that risk.
And all this journey, you're still working as an electrician?
Yeah, correct. So I'm still doing that now. We're getting to the point where, I'm getting pretty busy now with this business and working full time there. So I'm sort of, what do I do here? So it's been a bit of a juggling act. But yeah, just doing my best every day. There's a lot of big days and late nights, but yeah, that's a part of it all, and I'm happy to do it. So,
got it. How many products did you launch in your first launch?
I launched just one product, but in 4 color variations.
Okay.
So that's the only thing that separates them. But yeah, it's practically 4 products, just because the demand's different for each color. So yeah, it's sort of straight to the deep end, and yeah, it's really cool to see it all come together, and it's so far so good. It's going well.
Aaron, when was your first sale really on Amazon? It was like January
27th was my first sale.
Everyone remember the same day.
2022, yeah?
2022, yeah.
So all right. We are very fresh.
So and it's just because of all the supply chain delays and stuff of last year, it was that delayed that I didn't even realize that I made my first sale. So I just woke up and I thought, oh, what's going on? You know, where is my stuff? And I look, and there was 2 days of sales on there, but I didn't even know, because that's how lengthy the delays were. And so I was really, really, really surprised when it all comes through and it all comes together. So.
Right.
So basically, Christmas 2022 will be your first Christmas on Amazon.
Correct. Yeah.
It's exciting.
So I'm still exciting, and yeah, just who knows what's going to happen in the Q4 time. So yeah, I'm just that's another gamble I've got to take, because I don't know what it's going to sell like, my product at Christmas
your
time.
product, it's a Christmas material product, giftable?
Not really. But I guess it's giftable. It's giftable to people into home improvement and sort of tools. And if you're into that sort of stuff, then yeah, it's definitely a good gift for people. So it could go off. Yeah.
So Aaron, maybe would you like to share with us what is your anticipation regarding first Christmas sales, and second, what are you doing in order to optimize your listing and everything towards Q4 in general? Maybe you would like to share some, data and process with our audience.
Yeah. So I'm just going with, I think my sales will double over this period. So I really don't want to be out of stock for this time. So where that's been a problem for me, up until now, the product's gone that well that my biggest problem is I can't keep in stock, and I can't get enough cash to fund it all. Because, as you guys know, it takes a lot of time to get your money back from Amazon that you've invested. Right. But by the time you get it all back, your order should already be on the water, and just getting access to that money's been hard. So I've got funding from a e-commerce lender for this Q4, because I just had to make the decision of, all right, last thing I want is to go out of stock at this period. So I've doubled, my order than what I would normally do, probably even a bit more, so maybe 2.5 times, just to sort of see how we go this Q4, and just make sure we stay in stock. The listing and stuff like that, it's all going well. That's all optimized pretty well, but I've got a new PPC manager on board, and she's getting really great results, and I'm really happy to be working.
She's Australian or from the Philippines?
She's American.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got referred to her by another PPC manager that's really well known in the Australian community, but he didn't have time to take me on as a client. So he said, he recommended me her, Elizabeth, her name is, and so far so good. She's getting some cool results. So come Christmas time,
Let's talk about the difference. Amit, I'm talking to you. Let's see the difference between the Australian sellers that are really business owners' mind, to every other seller that we meet, if it's United States seller or Israeli seller, because, and I tell it, for you, Aaron, you started a business in January this year, and you already get funded from this business, because you understand that if you want to grow, you need funding. You already took a PPC manager. Many Israeli sellers say, okay, I will try to do it by myself for a few months, for a year. And if I don't get good result, so I will try to pay someone. In the beginning, I will pay a little bit, I will $100 a month, $200 a month. I don't know, I'm not talking about the big bucks. And funding, it can take years until, even me, and when I understand that e-commerce, in order to grow, I need funding, it took me about, 3 or 4 years to take a real funding for my business in order to get it to the 7 figures.
Okay.
But you understand it and you figure it out that in order to be a big seller, a real seller, in order to get cash from this business, you have to do it big and fast.
Yeah.
Is it something that you, because you are a, entrepreneur, because you are a business owner as yourself did, or it's a common sense in the Australian seller community?
Yeah, good question. I'm a part of a networking group called the Endgame Network. And you're around some pretty cool entrepreneurs doing some pretty cool things. So I don't know, you got to sort of make your own judgment. You sort of get, speaking to other sellers, you sort of get taught at the start to, give it a shot yourself, try and learn the ropes yourself. But I was sort of looking back, thinking about it all, just thinking like, I've got so much money invested here. And when you say going all in, like, I just thought to myself, what's the point of, trial and error, doing PPC myself, getting it all wrong, when if the product goes well, I'm just going to hire a PPC manager anyway. So I just thought, just go all in from the start, spend the money, and just, leave no stone unturned. Just, you need an expert, you need help, go out and ask for it and go out and get it. Which I'm not afraid to say that, I don't know everything. I'm not an expert at everything, but I'll go and hire that expert to really help me and make a difference. And I guess that's sort of where when you're working at the same time, like I've got cash or money coming in from that job where I can fund these extra, PPC managers and getting proper videos and, photos done for my product. Like I left nothing to chance here. That's the thing that you don't want to do. I felt like I don't want to leave anything to chance. Like I want to know that I had a crack at this 100%, whether it goes good or bad. So, but I think that's all got to do with your risk tolerance as well.
But when you planned this Amazon journey, you said, okay, I will take, I'm just throwing numbers. I will invest 20K in product and another 10K for a professional to drive this traffic, or is it something that you figure out on the way?
I guess I did do that. Yeah, invest a bit of money in the product and then all on the listing, like, photos and that. I invested as much as I could and to hire the best people I could hire. And then, so at the start, I only ordered like 1,000 units. And then it just sold like this. And then I thought, all right, like I've got to go here. Like I've just got to put more money in and just like fund this beast, because that's what it is. Once it goes, like you really need to go as well with it, or else you're just going to get starved to death, like the cash in your business. So I knew that, 1,000 units went so quick, and I thought, all right, next order was 2,000. My next order after that was about 2,700.
Wow.
And for Q4, we're looking for, probably, over 5,000 for this one. So when you got a good product there, you just got to back yourself again. You've backed yourself, taking the risk and into this business. And if it takes off, like you really got to think and dig deep and say, all right, I've really got to, get everything together to make this work. Because like you said, if you want to be a big seller, like you got to find this cash. Like you always look at these people doing, $100,000, $1 million in a month. You think, well, like what's going on here? You got to buy all that inventory and then scale it and, sell the product. But once you get talking to people and learn what they're doing, then people have got funding for their business. You think, of course they do. Like not everybody has, 300,000 US to just invest in the product to hopefully sell $1 million in a month. But they it's smart. There's a lot of smart people out there, and as long as you're happy to go learn from them, it's definitely what you should do.
It's amazing, like I know for sure that the funding is a big issue for Amazon seller, but as much as I'm talking to sellers in general and with the podcast, so I started to understand that the major issue of any Amazon seller before everything is the funding side of the business, because you can grow maybe to 6-figure sellers, but if you want to reach to higher goals, 7-8 figures, so funding is the key for success. At least that's the information I gather from sellers across the world that we are interview, and some of my clients as well.
Yeah, seems to be the key to it. Like if if you know your product's going to sell and you want to, get to that next level, like you're going to have some sort of help along the way. So I think getting funding and being comfortable with getting funding is a big key to it.
I think that people that can find a similar spot from Amazon business to real estate business can find it very common sense, because, if you have $1 million now in your bank account, you have $1 million. If you will buy a house in $1 million, it will be okay, but it will be better to take $500,000 and to take funding from the bank and buy 2 houses or 3 houses. And then
correct.
You got...
No, absolutely.
No, you're so right. Yeah, it's just, but getting funding for real estate, like, anybody would do that. Everybody's comfortable with that because that's a common thing. But, funding for, an e-commerce business, like I guess it's a new feeling for a lot of people. But you can get, much more extravagant results than, real estate, and much more quickly. So it's interesting. It's an interesting topic.
But it's risky. As you said, we are in a risky business.
Correct. Yeah, it's risky, and you just got to be comfortable with that, I guess. Because things can change quickly, I guess, on Amazon. And then what do you do then? So you got to have a plan and work out what's going on. Hopefully your lender is willing to can work with you if things go wrong too. So the lender that I'm going through, they seem to be very understanding that this business things can go not as expected. And then, they come to the table with you as well, and they'll work with you on that. So that's important.
So Aaron, what good story can you share with us with failures, or some horror story that you have, or maybe you would like to share with our audience? And regarding to what you're gonna say, do you still believe that Amazon is the only niche you should participate in, meaning, or you should look for alternative as well, not just selling on Amazon, but on other platforms, Shopify, Walmart, or whatever? Because putting all of your eggs in just Amazon basket can be quite risky in that sense.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. In terms of horror stories, like in regards to myself, like I've been pretty lucky so far, especially in regards to selling online. So far, so good. Touch wood, everything's been good. But I guess sort of like a horror story could have been, I had a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of things didn't go my way before Amazon. But the one thing is I didn't give up. So the real horror story would have been there that, it's all too hard, and push it aside and forget about it. Yeah. But so that would have been a real horror story, but thankfully that never happened. And you just keep on going, just keep on going. Yeah. And, we're here now 3.5 years later. I think a lot of people might have given up by then. I know a lot of sellers that sort of started when I did, and they're all out of it and doing some different things. But I think that's, that could be the real horror story, that you just didn't get there in the end, but thankfully it's all so far so good. And I think branching off into different marketplaces and having your own Shopify store, and then learning marketing, I think is very important. So I think going to Shopify, learning, your Google ads, Facebook, landing pages, copywriting, like that's all very important. I think that keeps your eggs out of the one basket. Whereas I'm not quite there just yet, but definitely looking to do it. So I'm just trying to handle this US market at the moment, get the demand under control to a stage where I can keep up comfortably.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably look to launch in other Amazon marketplaces, just because I know the system and know, you know, the whole process to get your goods into Amazon. So, you know, we might look at Canada, the UK, having a little bit of stock in Australia. And then it'll probably be go time for me to, you know, launch on Shopify and learn all that side of it, because that's a whole different ball game, but a great skill to have to learn all that side of it, because it involves a lot more marketing, I guess.
Marketing, yeah.
You're not relying on just PPC and, you know, your product's better than others in your niche, but we all know on Amazon that can change quickly. The copycats come. I know my product was live for maybe 12 days, and then someone stole all my images and had it up on Alibaba saying that, you know, they can manufacture this. So the competition's coming. So you just got to act on it and make sure, you know, your eggs aren't in the same basket and you're ready to go when that competition comes.
Right.
So let me ask you a question. And it's a tough question. Are you selling products or you're selling brand?
Selling products or selling a brand?
Yeah. What are you selling on Amazon? You're selling products or you're selling a brand?
Well, I think you got to sell your brand. You really got to think of a product that you got to think of your customer first and your brand first. And then, you know, you got to sort of think like, how can I expand this brand? Yeah. So my product.
Because you're talking about a lot about Shopify, and in order to get customer to get into your Shopify store, you have to give them a reason to believe, a unique selling proposition that it's not just a differentiation on Amazon, just not your reviews, your why.
Yeah, you got to build your brand. You got to build a brand story, and you got to give your customer a reason to click.
Yeah.
So that's where I guess, you know, a little bit of the magic is, you know, you got to learn your copywriting and learn your sales and marketing, because it's so interesting, like reading like marketing books and just how these guys get clicks and eyeballs to their page. That's where I really find that interesting. So Amazon, if you get your product right, it's quite easy, I think. Like, that might sound crazy, but you know, if you've really done your product research right, you found a great niche, then Amazon just, you know, get you sales. But to take that off onto Shopify and then try and do it all yourself, that's where you got to be pretty sharp and pretty get the knowledge to do that. So you got to build a brand, the brand story, and get those clicks.
Do you use some kind of a product insert or some kind of, I don't know, brandability activities to get to your customers today to get familiar with your brand?
Yeah, I'm big on, you know, the customer experience. I think a lot of Amazon sellers or where you can really beat them is like how you treat the customer. So whether that's through like automated email sequences to the Amazon customer, and, you know, you got to sort of talk their language as well. So you got to speak your niche's language, and, you know, you got to make them feel like they're being talked to by a real person. And I can't tell you how many times that I've copped like negative feedback, and I handle all the emails to my customers myself. And I can't tell you how many times that, you know, I've just went all out, tried to solve the problem for them. And even though like maybe my product was damaged or something didn't come in the box, you know, I've really done my best to give them a good experience, and I would have got a 5-star review out of that for sure. So I can't tell you how many times that has happened and how important that is to give your customer a great experience. That's just through like automated email sequences as well. So customer inserts, my one is just, you know, it's just really an instruction manual, really, just how to put the product together. It's got many parts.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the key is, getting in contact with your customer through automated emails. And then if you receive negative feedback, just being on the front foot, being approachable, and just do whatever it takes to make them happy. And yeah, like I think customer service in the US mustn't be too great because, you know, everyone's like, they're really surprised with the service they get that, you know, I just want to solve their problem. If I have to give away 2 free products just to keep them happy, like, so be it, I'll do it straight away. So you take a bit of a loss on the money side of things, but, you know, the customer's happy, you get a 5-star review out of it. And yeah, that's what's important.
That's another differentiation between the Israeli seller and the Australian seller, because the Israeli seller will do his PPC by himself and make mistakes and learn. But for the customer support, he will hire a Philippine VA to do the customer support. But you say, okay, I will do the customer support. I want to know my customers. I want to know their pains and how to solve them, because it's much more important to me from the PPC.
Oh, for sure. Like, yeah, just handle the customer support yourself, I think, is a key. It helps you improve as well. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Yeah, I think my product's great, but yeah, like I mess up too. So if I'm getting that direct feedback, I can then give it to my supplier over in China and say, hey guys, like, this is where we need to pick up the slack. This is like a common fault I'm finding our product, and it helps you get better as well. So yeah, handling that customer support has been so important. And like, I know competitors are coming after my product. You know, I know that, you know, there's going to be Chinese sellers that are going to have my exact product on the platform. But I know one thing's for sure, that they can maybe beat me on price, but the customer experience, like, good luck. Like, they won't beat me on that. And that's, you know, and that's a real differentiator between the two of us.
Perhaps this is the main difference between, or differentiation between, like, selling products to selling your brand, so to speak. That once you're trying to sell your brand to your customers, so customer support or customer service is the key, and this is the main differentiation between, for example, a Western seller to a Chinese seller that can duplicate your product, but you will never bring the same customer service or customer support to your end clients eventually.
Yeah, correct. And such a good opportunity for Western sellers as well. Yeah, just treat your customers well, and they'll be so appreciative of it, and it'll be in your benefit. So, yeah, so many times I've got reviews saying, oh, you know, I don't feel like I'm doing anything special, but I know customer service in Australia, I feel like it's really great. Even, let's say, if you just walk into a McDonald's, like, they're always real attentive, and, you know, everyone's sort of happy to be there, I guess. But when I traveled to the US, I noticed people working were like, I don't know, I just felt the customer experience sort of dropped off a little bit. And I think, like, if you can, you know, bring what you know to the table, you've really got an advantage there with customer support.
Amit, do you think that the Israeli sellers are frightened from the customer support because of that English is not our native language?
Honestly, no, I don't think so. I think, just like, again, I cannot speak in behalf of all the Israeli sellers, but what you say, I believe that the majority just don't understand the magnitude of the seller of service, of, like,
customer support.
Yeah.
And I think what Aaron just advised here, that it's your direct connection with your audience eventually. And if you understand what your audience are looking for and what your buyers are looking for, so you always can upgrade your product and upgrade your brand eventually. And for the long term, it's a huge benefit compared to others that may be doing the customer support through VAs or, I don't know, whoever.
I think it's always also because, let's face it, the Israeli customer support are shitty everywhere you are going.
Yeah.
If it's your super or your El Al or everyone else, it's just loudly customer support, and it's okay. That's our
no, you know, the Americans, like the US citizens, see the customer support as maybe the key, you know, the free returns or whatever. If something is got wrong, just send us the product and we'll refund you and send you a new back. It's not common in Israel in any regard. So, but again, we are not selling the Israeli are not selling in Israel. They are selling in the US market. Right. So you have to understand who is your audience and act accordingly. I believe it's a key factor, and I can say as well, again, being a freight forwarder, not selling a product, but selling a service. When I'm connecting with Aron, for example, or connecting with you, Eli, or with other clients I have in US based. So you have to understand the different mentality, and you have to talk and speak with them differently, and make sure you understand what they're thinking, what they're looking for, and try to provide them the service they are looking for, and not just what you are able to provide.
For sure. And like the Americans, they're not scared to give you a bad review. So if your product is off by a little bit, or if you're not coming to the party with a good product, like they're gonna let you know.
Yeah.
They're gonna come for your throat, like pretty much, because you know they expect great service. But if you're able to give that service to them, then they're so appreciative. And you'll get. It's just in your benefit to have your customer service like on point and better than everyone else.
Yeah.
See, Aaron, in Israel, if I'm buying from an Israeli merchant, something from Israel, no, I buy glass from Israel, and I don't know, it will arrive to me broken. So I will call the customer support and I say, hello, I receive it, it's broken. They will tell me that it's my fault because maybe I broke them. That will be the first answer.
And don't forget you hold on the line for like 30 minutes before anyone even pick up the fucking phone.
At least.
So sounds like definite room for improvement there, but I don't know. I'm probably a bit overboard with the customer service. Like Amazon take full responsibility, like if anything gets damaged in transit. But you know, if that normally happens to me, like I'll apologize on Amazon's behalf. I'll refund their money and I'll send them 2 of my product, you know, 1 for them that they should have got. And I'll say, pass one on to a friend as well. And then they're just so like appreciative and happy, and like you turn a bad experience into a good one. You haven't made money or made a sale and you had to give away one of your product, but you'll get a 5-star review out of it, like more times than not. So it's definitely worth.
I think the main key that we're taking from this discussion to the Israeli sellers, that they can't rely on the Israeli customer support. And they have to understand that in the other side of the Amazon, there is an Australian or a US customer, and is used to get a VIP customer support, and you need to give him a VIP customer support because that's the only way you can win the battle with the giants.
Oh, correct. That's how Amazon have won their market share of the year, isn't it? Like just customer comes first. And that's it. And that's the sort of mentality that you got to have too. So even though you might have to take a loss at times, just make sure the customer's happy. And then everyone else is happy too. So
in Rome, act like a Rome.
Yeah, correct.
Aaron, we are approaching to the end of the session, and I don't know if you're familiar with, we have a steady question in every show, the same question that we ask all of our guests. And the question is, if you occur to win $10 million net, US dollar, not Australian dollar, tomorrow, what would you do with them?
If I won 10 million?
Yeah.
If I won 10 million, it's a great question. I don't know. The crypto market's not too good at the moment, so I think it's a great opportunity to get in if you're into it. So I'd definitely put, you know, maybe 10, 20% into that.
20% in the crypto market?
I would. I would.
You just need 10% of
I've
increase that from the current market, and you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I think it's the only way he's up here, but you know, I've risked it all on this Amazon business, so why not on that too? You know.
Yeah.
And then you know I'll probably go safe and put a lot into real estate. So
in Australia?
Maybe, yeah, probably commercial real estate in Australia, 60% of it. What does that leave me with? Another 20%, 2 million? I don't know. I'd have to buy a nice house for myself somewhere, I think. So, so maybe
what about Amazon?
I'll leave $1 million. I'll leave maybe $1 million to go big again into Amazon. So, and do something really cool. So yeah, no, it's a good question. I didn't know you asked that in your show.
See,
a nice boogie board as well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, take some time off to learn how to surf like a real Australian. I don't know how to do it, so.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We will cut it in the editing.
Yeah. What about you guys? What would you spend 10 million on?
Oh, you will need to hear our episodes in Hebrew. You need to learn Hebrew and hear our episode to get the answers.
Okay.
Well, yeah, like I can tell you that, you know, when myself and Eddie had the first discussion or the initial discussion about the podcast, and we thought about a steady question to ask for all our audience. So we asked ourselves, what we do with the money? And basically, both of us will invest a lot in our family. But maybe this is the big thing that connect myself and Ellie together in the first place.
Yeah, correct. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Aaron, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for sharing your
thank you,
amazing journey. You're only in the beginning of the way, but I'm sure that you're going to be a master on Amazon because you are thinking right.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for inviting me. And, you know, it'd be good to do it again, 12 months' time. And we'll see how things have played out, whether, good or bad. I'm only early, like you said. So, yeah, we've got a long way to go. But, so far, so good. And thank you guys for having me on.
Amazing.
So we wish you great success, Aaron, and thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. You too. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye, Aaron.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Good night. Bye-bye.